Yeah, I just really wanted it to work for some reason. Like in my brain, I just really wanted it to work. And I mean, I had all the red flags. Like the girls was coming to me, woman to woman, like doing that whole thing.
Woman to woman.
Girl.
Sometimes in the relationship, I would create like arguments or create drama because it would be like, oh my God, like when it would get too calm or too steady, it would scare me.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like, okay, let me like create a little something.
Yeah.
Hi friends, and welcome back to Her Intentionally. This is a podcast about choosing to be intentional because thriving doesn't happen by accident. I'm your host, Keisha.
And I'm your host, Jasmine.
And today we have a good conversation lined up. This is one of those be honest with yourself conversations, okay? But before we get into that, Jazz, how are you feeling today?
Wow, I really needed that exhale.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling a bit flustered today, but I'm feeling a little bit more lighter now that we're about to talk and just get some of that out. So, yeah. How do you feel today?
No, I'm totally on the same wavelength. Yeah, I mean, getting everything together today, getting here, like it was a little bit of a whirlwind, but I'm feeling better.
Yes, and you made it. We're here.
We're here. I'm feeling like, now I'm feeling a little like goofy.
Yes, same.
I'm feeling a little goofy. Okay, wait. I bought something for us today. So maybe this will also put a little pep in the step. Okay,
because we need that.
We need that. So I bought these collagen powders. So I've been using collagen in my skincare routine lately. I've been trying to take them like at least once a day. And so this brand sent this to me as PR. And so I haven't tried them yet, but I feel like we can try putting them in our waters and just see.
Let's give it a go because I'm really trying to up my supplements these days.
Okay, we should have got a little scissor for this.
Should I grab the scissors?
Let's see. Can I just... Yeah, you need the scissors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing. Oh, maybe I see a little hole in it. Okay, never mind. You just got to make a little hole where you can. Okay. Now, collagen is, I've been using the collagen for like just adding more elasticity to my skin, which makes your skin look more supple. What is it? It's not going?
It's not going for me, but
okay, so hold on a moment, y'all.
I'll be right back. Good stuff. I'm back and I got mine open, so.
All right, so Jasmine got hers open. And so while we're pouring it, let me just tell you, okay, so I've been using the collagen just to help my skin like be more supple, like feel more supple. I feel like when your skin is more supple, it feels more youthful or looks more youthful. This also adds like hydration to the skin and elasticity to the skin. And you know what? I use it for my skin, and it's also good for your hair, for your nails, just supporting the hair and the nails as well. But it's also really good for like your muscles and your cartilage and stuff like that, like making you like, I don't know, I guess like feel youthful, like able to move around and stuff like that, not feeling so stiff, you know? So we trying this one out.
And it said it had hyaluronic acid and
it has hyaluronic acid. I think it has aloe vera in there too. Yeah. It's one that I use that I really like. And it's like a powder. So this is my first time using this one.
I've never seen like a liquid form like this. I always see it like in a powder supplement or like pill form. So.
They have a pill form too. Yeah, but I do like the powder. The powder one I like to put inside of my smoothie. Let's see.
Not bad.
You know what it is? I remember it has a lot of like marine complex. So there's a lot of like fish, like fishy things added inside of here. That's what it is. Because I was like, it stinks a little bit.
It does, but you gotta mix it with water. Do you have to mix it with water?
No, you can. I think you can mix it with anything.
I would honestly mix this with like orange juice or like an apple juice or something.
Yeah. I would mix it in my smoothie. I like
smoothie. Okay,
I like them in my smoothie. Like I'll have a smoothie every night and then put my collagen inside of my smoothie. Yeah.
This should definitely be mixed, but
okay, let's. You definitely want to mix that.
Yeah, mix that. But okay.
I don't mind the taste. It's the smell.
Yeah, it does smell like a fish oil.
That's
the
what's
fish
in
oil
it. They do
capsules.
have fish oil in it.
Yeah, those things.
I think it's like, what is that, like D3? I think it's like D3 in it. All right. Well, now that we done tried a little bit of collagen powder, hopefully our skin is glowing.
Yes.
We ready to show.
So we're gonna play another game today. Y'all, we love games because we just kind of like warming it up and we like being goofy. Like, like, you know, getting our energy up. And so the game we're going to be playing today is called Love or Familiar. Okay. And how it's going to go, we'll just read a few of the scenarios and we're going to react in real time. Okay. So no overthinking, girl. Just go with it.
Just what comes to the top of my mind.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
and I'm saying like this is love or that's just familiar?
Right.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm
So
ready.
no.
I feel like it's like a game show
Yeah.
or something. Ooh, I'm ready for it.
Okay. Feeling excited but unsure where you stand.
Familiar.
Familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. Feeling calm but waiting for something to go wrong.
Familiar.
Yeah.
No, love.
Feeling calm but waiting for something to go wrong.
Unfamiliar love. Unfamiliar love.
Love.
That's not even an option.
Explaining your feelings early on.
Familiar. Familiar? Yeah.
Explaining your feeling. Oh yeah, because
yeah.
Well, I mean, what
love?
if it's like a explaining your feelings?
Okay, y'all help us with it.
Yeah, because
you have to explain your feelings early on.
You shouldn't have to explain your feelings early on, right? Not explain them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not love, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, it seems like it's down the middle. Y'all vote. Tell us what y'all think. Okay, no, your turn.
Okay.
Someone showing up consistently.
Love.
A connection that feels intense but unpredictable.
Intense. I love intense love, but maybe familiar.
Okay. Why I'm reading so fast? I feel like
because you want me to react.
Yeah. Feeling safe to be honest without fear of conflict.
Love.
Okay.
That was a good game. Y'all let us know if you feel differently about some of them. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and so that game was something that was birthed out of like a lot of conversations that I see online a lot, like whether it's on television, whether it's just on social media, or like in friendship conversations about what is actually love and what's healthy in love, or are we just choosing things that feel familiar, and how often we mistake the two. Okay, so that's what our conversation piece is about today, and the question is framed as, are we choosing love, or are we just choosing what feels familiar?
That's deep.
That's very deep.
I think that takes a little reflection.
Definitely take some reflection. So let's start here. Let's start with, why do we mix these two up in the first place? Why do we mix up love and familiarity in the first place?
I think maybe because of how we're loved, like growing up. Yeah. We might confuse the two. Yeah. Like, you know, you form emotional patterns, right? And you get used to those. And so you just act out of that, like out of naturalness. Yeah.
That's what I think too. Yeah. I think so too. I think I said, I think a few podcasts ago, that I feel like the way that you love, or the way that you allow yourself to be loved, comes out of however you were loved when you were growing up. And so I think that sometimes, like, whenever you go out in the world, you kind of look for the same patterns. Like sometimes it could be something like completely chaotic, but if you're used to a chaotic dynamic, and you will be looking for that type of partner, attracting that type of partnership. But like, say you come from a chaotic environment and then you find like something that's calm, you might be like, no, this is not going to work for me, because the calmness feels unfamiliar. Your nervous system is not used to the calmness. Your nervous system is used to like fight or flight responses. And I feel like a lot of times we like to do the easiest thing, you know, like the thing that comes natural to us. Like you like to fall back into the pattern that's just like already set into place. So I feel like maybe that's why we mix the two up. Because sometimes just because it feels familiar to you, maybe what's familiar to you is chaotic.
And
maybe
it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. Maybe it's not healthy.
I definitely agree with that. And I can definitely like remember times when I did that. Like I've passed up on like a lot of good people, or like relationships, even like friendships. Because it offered me something that I wasn't used to. And I'm not saying that the way I grew up was like toxic, or how I was loved was toxic necessarily, but I've just had experiences with stuff that was unfamiliar to me, and then in hindsight it was like more healthier in those ways. And so it kind of just makes you want to run from those things, especially if you're not aware of yourself, or aware that some of those patterns are kind of like unhealthy.
I definitely have a personal experience with that as well, because I feel like when I got into my like steady relationship that I'm in now, he was so like calm and so like loving, but I was kind of used to chaotic environments, that sometimes in the relationship I would create like arguments or create drama, because it would be like, oh my God, when it would get too calm or too steady, it would scare me. So it would be like, okay, let me like create a little something. But I actually wasn't even aware that I was doing it. I wasn't aware of it until like looking back on it. Like, okay, you were just creating arguments just for the sake of creating an argument.
Did your partner ever like pose a question to you like, do you think that this is normal that every time we're doing good, you cause like a little friction?
He did it until we started getting older and started getting like more awareness about it, because I feel like earlier on, neither one of us understood that type of language or even understood like to, I guess, associate that behavior with that verbiage. You know what I mean? So I think he probably just thought I was nuts.
Like, oh, she tripping again.
Yeah, like she tripping again. I don't know what's going on with this girl. Like,
I don't know what I did.
He just thought I was nuts, and I guess to some degree I
was a little
yeah. I was like just used to like that chaos. I think I was not used to consistency in love, and so I was always expecting like him to be inconsistent in some way. So I feel like I was always like testing his limits, and always pushing to see like, okay, so when you gonna leave? When you gonna leave? You know what I mean? Yeah.
How much can you take?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And I think also I feel like maybe culture has like a hand in that as well, because like when we're watching like movies and they just portray love to be a certain way on television. Yeah. Right? Like it's all like perfect and you're deep in love, like just caught up in the whirlwind of things, or it's like super toxic and abusive and but it's never like in the middle, or it's never like well, maybe it starts off that way and then it turns into like a lovey-dovey thing. It's like either or. But I mean, what do you think about that?
I think so too, because I think when I think about like the cultural aspect of it, I think about like television shows, but like stuff from like the earlier 90s and stuff. And I feel like there was like a lot of like good depictions of like Black families on TV at that time, like Fresh Prince, like Cosby Show, like what else was there? Like there was on TV at that time, like Fresh Prince, Cosby Show, Family Matters.
Family
like
Matters.
There was all those different types of shows, and I felt like those shows didn't necessarily show it as like toxic. They kind of showed like some balance in it, but it kind of did feel like the families that had it all together.
Yes,
like and I feel like it's like the pendulum just completely swung, because I feel like now, well, one, I don't feel like there's that many Black families that are depicted in television now, right. And then when there are, there, to me, I feel like there's a lot of like toxicity that it shows. Like there's always like some level of struggle that has to happen like with the situation. And so I do feel like our culture highlights struggle in relationships, or struggle in romantic relationships.
Especially
like,
these days.
It's not worth it unless there was something like
or you had to go
hardship
through something
you had to go through
to get to that.
Which I don't like. I don't like the idea of that.
I don't like that either. I don't like having to go through hell and high waters just to get to a point of like, okay, now we're living a better life, all right, or like now we can grow into like a better relationship. It's like, why do I have to go through all that? Especially with women and men, the dynamic of like women having to, in social media, it's a big thing right now, like women having to, in order for you to be with like a high value man or a decent man, you kind of got to go through cheating.
I'm a decent man.
You got to go through
a demon. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know that?
I heard that song.
I love this city. Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
My bad. When you said decent man, that's all I had to think about. Okay.
Even to get like a high value man or a man that's halfway decent, they expect you to tolerate, the absolute most. So cheating, being fully financially responsible for the man, like that is kind of
being fully financially responsible for the man is nuts. No, that is nuts. Yeah,
like fully, like so you're working your back, like you breaking your back to take care of both of y'all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to be fully responsible for nobody, but myself,
exactly,
and my kid.
Exactly. But I do, in some instances, it's like Ryan Coogler, right? He praises his wife now because when he was like doing his directing and starting off, and obviously the money wasn't there, and so she like wrote it out with him, and she even like helped fund some things for him, and so now he's like, I'm so appreciative to my wife, and he like talks about that all the time. So I feel like it.
Yeah, but I think that's different than, like, okay, she held him down versus being like, she had to be fully responsible. Like he was still able to buy his meals, right? Or put a little grocery in the house, though, right? Or pay a little light bill or something like that.
Yeah,
like that's different versus like I'm having to handle everything.
And
like,
you sitting on your ass at
Yeah.
home, not doing anything, not wanting to do anything, don't have a plan to do anything.
Right.
Yeah, but in like media and culture these days, they make it seem like that's an absolute necessary thing you have to go through, and I feel like that's completely absurd.
I feel like, well, okay, one, I would like support my man that way.
Yes.
Like, you know, but not like you have to completely rely on me. That would just piss me off. That would like have me, I feel like I would be resentful by something like that.
Sure.
But support your dreams, support your goals. Yes, that I will do. But you still gotta
do a little something. You are
do your
a
little
man now.
That's right. Do your little 1-2 man thing.
Yes.
But then also I was gonna say, I feel like that like struggle culture is like something that's implemented in us like from society at large, because I feel like even when we think about like being successful, like it's always like hard work pays off. It's like there's always this idea of like you have to go through some sort of hardship in order to reap the rewards. So I feel like it just carries over, like whether it's in work or relationship. I feel like that's almost like the American cultural way. It's like you need to suffer. Like suffering should be a part of the human condition. And I just don't know if I think that suffering has to be a part of the human condition. You know what I mean?
No, I feel like that's not the reality. It doesn't have to be the reality for every single person. Now, I mean, obviously there is, especially, well, I mean, that's a whole other thing, the way the world is going. It seems like everybody is having to go through some type of like trial, tribulation, or struggle. But as far as like relationships and stuff, I feel like it doesn't have to be that. And especially like, let's say, you know, you come and you've done like so much work on yourself, and then you're told, oh, well, none of that matters. You want to get with this man, then girl, you gotta be ready for him to cheat on you, or you gotta be ready for, you know, him to lie to you, or, you know, just something absurd.
Right. Like you got to lower your standards.
Yes, to deserve or to be worthy of like the end goal in that relationship, which, I mean, I can't get with that.
But don't you feel like in a lot of ways, it's almost like it's a little bit self-inflicted in some ways, because I feel like some of us as women kind of go into that. Like it's like we go into that with that type of mind frame, like, well, he do this, or like he do make this amount of money, or so I know that's gonna come with it. You know what I mean? Like some of us, I feel like, or kind of okay with that.
Yeah, you know, yes, I agree with that, because I do know women that they will say like, well, girl, as long as he pay my bills, or he paying my rent or whatever, like he can do whatever. Like I know about it and I'm okay, as long as he not doing it in front of me, or I guess like disrespecting me. I guess
cheating respectfully.
Yeah. As long as he's cheating respectfully, like I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do my little thing on the side, but it's like, well, why are y'all?
Well, then it's like then you're in an open relationship, but then that's different. Like if you discuss being in an open relationship,
but I don't think they discuss being in an open relationship. I think it's still a closed relationship, but it's open on both ends, and it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, that's
yeah. I want to go back to the thing that we were saying, like suffering is a part of the human condition. Now it might get a little bit off tangent, but I'm gonna try to keep it there. Because I agree that I don't think that it has to be a part of the human condition. Now I do think that you will come up against some sort of challenges, but I think the degree of which you suffer within those challenges is all about, I feel like, where you are at the time, like what frequency you're on at the time. Because I feel like I look at it like almost like navigating or driving on a straight road. And I feel like you get more potholes in your road if you're like, when you're not aware, when you're not regulated, when you're not like doing the work of growing and all those things like that, whether that's in business and work relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, whatever it is. But I feel like when you are more aligned, then I feel like maybe you're able to drive the road a little bit straighter, and you can kind of dodge the potholes. Like you don't have to fall into every pothole. You know what I mean? Or if you do fall into a pothole, you're able to like bounce back quicker or regulate quicker because you're more in alignment.
Yes.
So it's like maybe you'll have challenges, but the degree to what that suffering occurs, I think depends on where you are. Yeah. So
I agree.
That's my tidbit on that.
I think
thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Okay. I do agree with that, but also, well, I just kind of want to go back a little.
Okay.
When we talk about like social media and relationships and things like that, I feel like social media, it's breaking up more homes than it's like helping, because of the expectations. Like, and it's like, even if you see something on the shade room, right, and they're talking about, oh, like this celebrity did this to this celebrity, and then like you can go in the comments and there's an open discussion about these people's relationship, and everybody's like giving their opinions. Everybody's saying, well, I wouldn't do this or I would do that, and it's like that.
Like that kind of weigh in, that kind of commentary kind of affects relationships.
That affects relationships, yes, because I mean, oftentimes, like me and my boyfriend will talk about it, like, oh, did you see this happened on the shade room, or this happened in social media or whatever, and then we'll like talk about it amongst ourselves, and it's like, but wait, this is something like completely made up on social media by people we don't know,
right?
People that it's not even their life. They're talking about, they're commenting on other people's lives, so it's like I feel like it's just this ongoing loop of like just opinions that turn into like real shit that harms real life relationships.
Right. That reminds me that I saw recently that Mariah the Scientist and Young Thug got engaged.
Yes.
I was like, okay, congratulations, girl. But then I seen a lot of the comments where people were saying like, well, like finally, like she deserves the ring or she earned the ring.
Yes.
Which takes us back to like this idea of like she'd been through so much with him, she held him down while he was locked up.
Right.
Or, all the different, things that had happened in their relationship that we know of. Right. But it's like, no, why is it that she had to have went through so much struggle or hardship to have been deserving of the ring? Why couldn't it have just been like, no, you proposed or we're engaged because that's just what you wanted to do and you were just good to me. You know what I mean? Like from the outside perspective of it. Right. I don't like the idea of having to deserve
me either. You know, like, okay, you done been through enough bullshit. Let me go ahead and get you that ring. Like,
oh, you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, word. Okay, let me get you a little ring then about it. Like,
no. I hate that. We need to really get away from that, but it's kind of hard because there's more of that being displayed to us than healthy relationships or like, marriages that stem from healthy places instead of stuff like that. So it's like, you have to go with the latter. A lot of people are going with the latter because we're getting more of that.
Because we're getting more of that. But I think too, like, even if we do see healthy relationships displayed in front of us, we only ever talk about those relationships or see more of those relationships when it's something that goes wrong in a relationship. And granted, all relationships have ups and downs. So it's like you don't know when the couple is up. You only know about whenever they're down because that's salacious and that's what makes like headlines. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So basically, get off of social media. If y'all trying to have a healthy relationship, I know a lot of times, like, that's something me and my partner, we're constantly talking about. Like, those expectations on social media, that's not our real life expectations. And we can't bring that shit into our relationship because
that's right.
It's no longer healthy at that point.
That's right. But it makes sense then why struggle feels familiar personally and then also culturally because like we're seeing this and we've kind of been like socialized or conditioned this way. So it makes sense why people stay or why people are confusing what feels familiar for what feels like next to what feels like love. That makes sense. Like why that's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
And this is where it starts to get real is when you start assessing like how that actually shows up in real life. So where would you say that that's showing up for you in real life at?
So actually I can think of a time when I was in my younger 20s and I was in a romantic relationship with this guy. And I mean, yeah, I just really wanted it to work for some reason. Like in my brain, I just really wanted it to work. And I mean, I had all the red flags. Like the girls was coming to me, woman to woman, like doing that whole thing.
Woman to woman.
Girl, that's a whole nother thing. But and I feel like I chose to stay. Like every brain cell that I had was like, leave. All my friends was like, Jasmine, like, what are you doing? Like, you don't deserve, like, he don't deserve to be with a person like you. Like, how did y'all even get to, some people were like, how did you even find him? Like, that kind of thing. But I was just so fixated on, I guess, like, the good that I seen in him and also just wanting to stick it out, like, ride or die. And I don't know why. I was not.
Feel like you wanted to like prove to him that you weren't going to leave. I'm going to prove like I'm going to be here for you.
I wanted to prove to him and I wanted to prove to everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah. And I wanted to, and then when I started knowing about like the other girls, I wanted to prove to them like I'm the wifey type. Like I'm the one that he's gonna. I'm the one he's gonna change for a type shit.
Yeah.
And girl, no, he never changed. Right. And eventually the oxygen came back into my brain and I like woke up and I was like, well, this is not for me. And I eventually left the relationship, but I mean, it took a long time to do that. And then even after leaving the relationship, he went on to keep doing the same thing and like got in another relationship and was like doing the same thing like out loud. And it was like, girl, how could you ever think that, you know, you were gonna change this person? But also I think I was just addicted to like the roller coaster of it all.
Right.
Like, I mean, my life was so interesting at that time. I would call up my girlfriends, and I mean, I had stories, girl. We was living, they was living through my stories, and you know, when you're younger, I mean, stuff like that, it just feels like, oh, you're alive, like type shit. But it just was so toxic. But I had been in like a few healthy relationships before then, but that one was just so like like I don't know, it was just so intoxicating that I stayed way longer than I should have, and I lost so much due to that relationship. But I feel like that is a time where I chose like something, I wouldn't even say it was familiar to me, it was very unfamiliar, but it wasn't the love that I had gotten from like other relationships. So I mean, I feel like that's a time that it played out in real life for me. But since then, now that I have that relationship and I can reference that relationship, when I went on to like move on or whatever, I chose love. Like I chose healthy. I chose the complete opposite of that because I realized what it did to me and my nervous system, and I was like, I'm never gonna put myself through that again. I'm never gonna ride or fucking crash for nobody again. Like
that's right.
That was just crazy.
That's right. Yeah. I feel like something key that I'm like feeling here is like the hope cannot be louder than the pattern. Like you gotta trust the pattern that you see that keeps coming up.
For sure.
I was always the friend in relationships where I would be the person that they would call to tell the story to. Yeah, to tell the story to. I mean, and my homegirls had some of the craziest stories. And a lot of times, like, the guys that they would talk to, like, they would like me in the sense of, like, okay, I was cool, but they wouldn't like me because I was always the friend, like, oh, no, bitch. Like, yeah no. Like, you don't have to be doing this. Yes. Like, let's get this together. Like, where he at? Like, like, I was always like that, you know? But, yeah, the hope cannot be louder than the pattern. And do you feel like there was a sense of, like, leaving that felt scary to you? Because I feel like sometimes people stay in relationships because like the alternative feels scarier, so they stay in what feels familiar.
No, because like I said, that was very unfamiliar to me, so I just stayed because I liked the ride. Like it was the craziest ride I had ever been on, and I had kind of got addicted some type of little
hits. Like
yes,
I don't know if
it's
like dopamine a high, or like it was a high,
like, and then it's like he would like we would go through this something, or like a girl would expose something, and then he would like do all the apologizing or whatever, and then come crying back to me, and then we just go back to normal, like nothing had happened, like, and then he would go do it again, and it was just like over and over and over. I went through that a few times, like probably like 3 different females like came to me, and we had the whole like, I'm calling them while he's right there, I'm calling them on the phone like, he said, were you over here at this time? And she's like, I don't know, ask him. And I'm like, he's right here, he's telling me to ask you, like. And so it was, girl, it was, but that was very unfamiliar for me. I grew up like being loved, like in my household, like it was my grandparents were married, like I see marriages up close, like real love, like a man being a man. My first boyfriend, I mean my high school sweetheart, like he was so great to me, like, so that was just my first unfamiliar experience of like, he kept saying he loved me though, like he just kept saying I love you, and so I don't know, I guess I was just wanting to like see that play out, but it was never going to play out.
That's right. It was never going to play out. And two, it's like just trusting the word alone. Like the action has to be attached to the word. Because just saying that you love me with no follow through or no action behind that, like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to believe it.
Then he would. I'm not convinced. He would do things or like buy me stuff and be like, oh, like you the only girl I ever did this for, or like his mom would be like, yeah, like you should know he loved you. Like,
wow, his mom was a part of the scheme.
Yes. It was a. Girl, it was a thing.
Yeah, but I feel like in that sense, it's like you were so loyal to the person, and you wanted to like prove to him, prove to yourself, prove to all these girls out there, like I'm like, this is your man. And you were so loyal to him that it's like, in that sense, it's like you're abandoning yourself.
Oh my God!
At the same time, you know what I mean?
Yes, I completely abandoned myself.
Yeah. So
do you have any crazy stories like mine?
So when you were saying like you used to have all of these stories that you would call and tell your homegirls, I was always the homegirl that my friends would call and tell me the stories, or the homegirl that would go do the little ride by situation with them.
Girl, you was riding on people.
Yes, I was definitely there. I don't do that now. So if your man got a situation, any kind of situation, don't call me. I'm not going to ride, okay? But I definitely was like riding. So one time my homegirl, we were in college. So keep this in mind. We were in college and we were going to school in Lafayette, and her boyfriend was living in BR. And so a girl reached out to her, coming to her as a woman, you know, as women do. So the girl came to her as a woman, was telling her like, hey, you know, me and him were talking, whatever she was saying to her. So my homegirl, like, she didn't really just believe it, I guess, off bat. And she needed like proof. She needed like further proof to understand the situation. And I'm like, girl, why do you need proof? Like,
exactly.
He's cheating. Yes. Like, he's cheating. Like, let's just be done with the situation. Wrap it up. But she needed the proof. So she was like, okay, her and the girl set up a situation where they were going to bust the boy. So the girl was going to be over there at his house, and then she was going to drive over and see the girl there and then be able to like bust him in the situation.
So set him up.
Setting him up, right? So she was like, okay, y'all, like, we about to ride, like, come on. I'm like, okay, words. I hop in the car, whatever. We drive on down to BR. She bang on the door. The girl comes down, open the door, whatever. And then, so just my homegirl go in, and we kind of like standing back. So eventually, the boy comes down the steps. So my homegirl, she like going off on her boyfriend, like, what's this, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, whatever. And so eventually I was like, we should go inside because the girl's there. We don't know this girl, right? So we want to make sure she's okay. So we get out, we go inside, whatever. The boy sees us, and I think he got overwhelmed with the whole thing, or maybe he started to realize like, oh, y'all really thought y'all was really coming to do a thing, like on me, and it's not about to go down like that. So next thing we know, like, he goes upstairs, he comes out of his room, and he starts waving a weapon around, and he's like, y'all need to get the up out my house. All of y'all better get up out of here right now. And we seen the weapon,
even to his girlfriend,
to the girl too. Yes, to the girlfriend, not to the girl side girl.
Yeah, to his girlfriend that y'all went there with.
Yes. And when I tell you, like, we ran out of that house, it was so ridiculous because it was so ridiculous and like such a juxtaposition from the way that we went in, because we went in like,
yeah, he got us messed up.
Yeah, like, yes, but then he pulled that out. We was like, what? Get out of here, like, girl. You know. So it's like I always would get like those kind of stories like from my friends, or be a part of like those types of situations where it was like, okay, let's go figure out what's going on, you know. But yes, that is definitely. And she went back to him after that. She wound up going back to him after that. So those type of situations, I feel like those are like birth out of like familiar patterns. Yes, that is not a loving situation.
No,
like,
that's some crazy ass
that's
shit.
That's so crazy.
And he pull out I'm out of here. You ain't never got to worry about me talking to you again.
Right.
We're done.
Like, we're done.
You weren't done before. We done now.
We're definitely done now. You would think that he would have been like, no, like, baby, like, wait,
just
like,
see what's going on.
Let me show you. Come back. No, he turned up on us. Like, turned up on us about it. Like, yeah, that is definitely familiar. So hopefully the nervous system is not choosing them type of patterns anymore. Yes. Mine ain't. Mine is not choosing patterns where we need to ride.
Hell
no, ma'am.
That's crazy. How do you know the difference between actual love and something that is just familiar, like in real life?
I feel like in those types of situations, I feel like your body knows sometimes before your brain does. So I just feel like pay attention to how you feel. And I know sometimes it's like, well, I felt like that was a good situation. But it's like, no, probably somewhere along the line, there were red flags that you kept trying to make green, or stop signs that you just kept running right on through. So it's like, actually pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to like, when you're around that person, like, do you feel safe to express how you feel without like fear that the person is going to get upset with you? Do you feel tense? Like, does your body feel tense? Your shoulders feel tense? Are you like more cowering in posture? I don't know why I'm doing this, but this would it give? Like, do you feel more clammed up and constricted, or do you feel open? Are you free to be yourself in the relationship? Like, I just feel like there's a lot of physical cues that you can be aware of and take into like as a round out your perspective with when you're trying to tell the difference between if it's something that's familiar or if it's something that's love. And if you are able to have this level of self-awareness, pay attention to like, think about what type of dynamics you grew up in your household. What type of love or relationship dynamics did you see? And see if that mirrors that. Does that situation, is he like your father that was maybe, verbally abusive to your mother? I don't know. Is he like the boyfriend that you saw that was cheating on your mom. Like, I don't know, like, pay attention to those things, you know?
Yeah, because the signs definitely be there.
The signs be there.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
signs be there.
So you said like being aware. And so let's say you do start becoming more aware or whatever, and you can pinpoint those things.
Yeah.
Does that shift what you're attracted to as time goes on?
I feel like it does.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were like me, then being in a loving relationship might feel a little bit unfamiliar or feel uncomfortable. But I feel like over time, your nervous system learns to trust that safety, and it learns to trust like that it's okay for you to be regulated. Because if you're used to the pattern of chaos or inconsistency, when that type of thing comes in, that might feel like, what is happening here? Like, you feel like you can't trust that situation either. But it is like an overtime thing. But that's also why I say, I always tell people, like, give it time. Like, take your time in relationships. I personally believe that you should establish like an emotional connection with the person, a mental connection, before you ever even establish like a physical connection. I always tell girls, like, don't get physical.
Yes, because that clouds your complete judgment. Like,
completely.
Even if the emotions aren't there, even if there's no stimulation up there, you'll trick yourself into thinking that that is love, or that's somebody that you really want to be with, just because you like what it feels like physically.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like women, like, they're like, sometimes I feel like women are cognizant about like not wanting to have like too many men attached to them.
Yes.
So they feel like if I've gotten physical with you, then I need to just try to do what I can to keep you around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and now you got a person that's overstayed their welcome.
Yes, for sure. And you putting up with shit that you should have been done with ages ago.
Right.
Ages ago.
But when you take your time and talk, I really feel like just talk as much as you can to them. Talk as much as you can to them, because I feel like eventually the person will start to reveal who they are. I feel like conversation will reveal, because you can only hide for so long. You can, and I don't mean like 3 months. I mean, do as you please.
Yes.
But I don't mean like 3 months of talking.
But I feel like we're in popcorn culture, right? Everybody wants it now. Like, if you start talking to somebody, they want to fall in love right away. Like, they want to get married tomorrow. It's also a part of like the pressures that social media puts on us. Like, you see everybody get married or people having kids. So like, you want to hurry up and foster this relationship and make it speed up so that you can get to that point without doing the necessary, like, the shit that really lasts, that really matters in making a relationship last.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're choosing out of those dynamics, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to get in a situation that you really shouldn't be in. Because it's like, if you're looking for someone to start a family with and you're looking for someone to get married to, like, that's worth taking your time for.
Sure.
Like, why would you rush yourself to fit into a box or fit a standard or make a pretty picture or something like that?
Yeah.
And then a few years later, being a completely, like, I don't know, like, I feel like some people do get married. Like, some people say they fall in love at first sight, and they get, they take the ride on it, and they have successful relationships. And I guess if you feel aligned that way and you feel called that way, do you?
Yes.
Do.
Yeah, but for the majority, it's like, definitely take your time.
I think take your time. Yes. I would say take your time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like time, like what? Like what you say take time is?
I mean, I feel like it varies. Like, if the relationship is going smoothly, but let's say, okay, some relationships, like, okay, if you're in a long distance relationship, that might take longer,
right?
Because y'all not able to see each other. Like, it's just taking longer to foster the connection. I mean, you'll have like the connection, I guess, like over the distance, like over phone and stuff like that. But I don't know, some conversations need to happen. Like, also you need to feel a person's energy, because people are good at telling stories. People are good at lying. And so you might get you one of those. And I mean, it sounds so good on the phone, but then when y'all get in person, it's a whole nother dynamic.
Yeah.
So I feel like that plays a part too. So I think it varies. But I feel like I'm not going to marry nobody. I don't know. We got to be in the years before I marry somebody. Like, make vows to somebody. Like, that's kind of crazy to do in like a few months. But people do it. And then some people are married like years and years and years. They die that way, like, to the person that they married, like that. So
true.
I don't know.
I feel like when people are older, I see that happen a lot more. True. But I feel like then, like, you're older, you know more what you want. Mm-hmm. Like, you're spending less time playing around. Like, you're more like intentioned and more purposeful about things. I agree. So I see a lot of older people do that. But yeah, so that's how I would say that you would be able to tell the difference. How would you say like a person would be able to tell the difference if something is love or if it's just something that's familiar to you?
I feel like the way you can tell the difference is like how it makes you feel inside, like emotionally.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're constantly like, I don't know, when I was doing that stuff in that other relationship that I told y'all about, I was like always sad. After I would get away from him and the roller coaster of things and the excitement of that, I was like really sad inside. Mm-hmm. And because I knew I wasn't loving myself properly.
Yeah.
So I feel like you'll know how you feel emotional wise. Like if it's draining to you, then no, it's not a good relationship. It's probably just something familiar if you come from a toxic, background of your attachments and things like that. If every time you get from by this person, if you feeling sad about yourself and down, like that's probably not a good person for you to be around. It's probably not, a loving relationship. But like, if that person leaves you and you're still feeling good about yourself, you still feeling like, love is still in the air. Like, you know what that feels like. You know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And you can't wait to see that person again. I feel like that's love.
Right.
Like how you're feeling emotionally can like offer you a little bit of like discernment there.
Yeah. Sure. So it seems like the work is about recognizing the patterns. Yes. And in some cases choosing better patterns.
Yes. And I guess like being aware of yourself in those patterns.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this has been a really good conversation. This was a fun one.
It was.
So before we go though, we're going to leave you with an affirmation for the week. And that affirmation is, I choose peace over patterns. Okay, guys? I choose peace over patterns. Okay?
Yes. Yeah. And I just want to remind y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit your notification bell so y'all can be notified every time we drop an episode. It was so nice chatting with y'all, and we can't wait to see y'all again in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, girl.